south, south. Where do you go? Oh, here it is.
Whoa, that's scary.
Oh shit, that was so cool. Hey, what's up? I don't know if you guys have heard of Spellbreak. It probably was something that you might have heard of like a while ago, but then you might have brushed over it. It had its sort of launch recently into chapter 1 of the game, and that's when I started. So I'm kind of like a new player coming into this, but I wanted to kind of give my thoughts on it. And as you saw from the last clip, it's been fun. Like, there's been moments where it's really satisfying. The combat in this game is unlike anything else, and it really shows, because there's these cool combinations. It's like you kind of mix elements to do certain stuff. It's not something that's completely new, but in combat and like multiplayer PvP kind of thing, it's something that is quite unique. And I've just been kind of like surprised that I missed this, right? Like, a lot of people who had originally played it said that it wasn't really that good in the earlier stages, like closed alpha and beta and whatnot. And then I decided to try it out myself, and then a lot of the people who didn't like it originally, I asked them to replay it with me and see what it's like, and all of them have been like, wow, it's so much better, it's actually amazing. So I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on it quickly in a video. So let me just run down basically what the game is. So it's a battle royale, and you choose an element for a gauntlet. So you have your primary gauntlet, then you end up finding an offhand. And the way that the gauntlets work is that you have a primary, like a sort of a weapon in a way. Like, some feel like shotguns or snipers, or like an SMG or something like that. Like, they kind of have this sort of gun feeling to them, very familiar with, all of them have pretty slow projectiles. And then there's the electric one, which is sort of like closer to hit scam. So there's those elements, and then you have the offhand, which kind of combines, and then each hand gets a sorcery spell. So for example, the poison one, you can throw a poison cloud. Then you have the frost one, which has like a big AoE sort of frost storm that kind of protects you. And all of them kind of have their own little element that has a cooldown to it, and then they have the primary that just sort of uses mana, and then once the mana goes down, you gotta like refresh it, essentially like a reload. Trying to compare it to shooters because that's kind of what I know. And then you find a rune, which is essentially your movement spell, and it kind of provides different like ways of approaching fights, whether it be like dashing around, dashing up, going stealth, but kind of giving you a bit of a different like movement and approach to each fight. And then you pick your traits going in, which kind of make your class more like narrowed in on a certain playstyle. And throughout the game, what you find is upgrades to your gauntlets, upgrades to your like mana, your health, your movement speed. Then you find a rune for your mobility. You can read scrolls to upgrade your traits, so there's constant stuff that you can kind of progress throughout. And I just been having so much fun with it. It's a very unique spin on battle royales. It's something that really hasn't been done yet, and I think most people should honestly give it a go. The population isn't too big, so it would be nice to have some more players. And now I just want to talk about some of the stuff that I don't really like about it. So first thing is, it's a battle royale. That's kind of like a pro and a con depending on who you are. For me, I've played so many battle royales. I feel like battle royales are just sort of overdone, and I really wish that this game did something different besides a battle royale. They have a mode called Clash, which is essentially like a 9v9 battle royale with respawns. So it's still like looting stuff and the map closes, but people like can keep respawning until somebody gets to the kill mark, the score. It's kind of like a mix between TDM and Battle Royale. I personally think this game would work a lot better if there wasn't this Battle Royale sort of like find better loot and all that. If it was just you pick your class, you pick your main hand, your offhand, and then there's an objective, and it's like 3v3, 2v2, 4v4, whatever, something like that. I think that is where the game could shine if they added a game mode like that, just because of the way the combat is. The combat is incredible. It's very frustrating though, like most battle royales, when people just happen to get better loot than you, and that's the reason that you die. And then also the fact that like most battle royales, there's always the issue of third partying. You know, someone's eventually going to come in and kill you from behind, and after you wipe a team, and it's just like, oh, you know, it's very frustrating. And that's the issue with all battle royales. Some people like it, some people don't, but either way, I think this game would be much better if it was a sort of team versus team objective based game, and they can do whatever they want with that. I just think the combat is incredible, and I really want them to focus on the combat and using the abilities in intelligent ways, because that's where the game shines. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters is getting into fights. I love fighting in this game. It's super fun to be in a 1v3, 1v2, or even a proper 3v3. There's a lot of times where you and your teammate can synergize. Like I would throw a smoke cloud on somebody, and then somebody else electrocutes that, and now anybody in that smoke cloud gets shocked. Like there's so many cool moments like that, and it's just such a satisfying system for a combat. I cannot stress that enough. It's so satisfying.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, the con is basically that it's just a battle royale. And currently, as the time of recording this, there's only solos, duos, and clash mode. Or sorry, solos, trios, and clash mode, which means that there's no duos. And duos is what I want to play, because typically I just have one other person to play with, because not too many people really play this game right now. So I have to find like some random, and it's very frustrating, obviously, getting queued up with randoms. A lot of times you just straight up don't get a third person, or the third person just likes to drop away and run away and play as if it's like they're solo, or you find somebody off the Discord, but then there's not as much synergy as you would have with people that you always play with. So duo would be a really fun game mode for them to add. And then beyond that, there's not too much like performance issues, but there are queue times that can be a bit long. So those are sort of my 3 gripes, which is sort of not necessarily anything bad about the game. It's more just like personal preference, that I can have duos, I can have a game mode other than BRs, and that the queue times are faster. I mean, the queue times can be faster if they pick up the player base, and then if they add duos into it, I assume that would mean that queue times would be longer, so I understand why it's not there. All in all, before I ran too much, just wanted to quickly throw that together, and hopefully the gameplay here shows you a bit of how it's played. And if you have any interest in it, go ahead and download it. It's free. It's on Steam and Epic Games. It's crossplay, so you can get it on consoles as well. So thanks for stopping by, and if you guys want to see more content on Spellbreak, let me know. If you're not interested, then also let me know. I just wanted to kind of talk about this game because I think it deserves a little bit more credit than it's getting.